You know, we expected him to play some sort of aggressive strategy, but he couldn't find one that he was happy with, unfortunately for him. So now he's kind of defaulted to Black-Green Delirium has the 2016 SCG Tour Player of the Year.
Yep. 8-3, doing yeoman's work, trying to make the top 8. Probably sizing up for a top 16, small payday, drive back to Roanoke.
Most tournaments, 6-7 hour drive.
Most tournaments, not glamorous for most people.
It's a grind.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. Ooh, with their tanks and their bombs. Ah, sorry. I didn't know all the lyrics. I'm catching up on the Twitter sphere. Another Cranberries reference.
It's the same song. It's not like a different Cranberries reference. It's still the same song.
I heard the song in a long time. I'm just checking. I'm checking out the hashtag. SCGATL. We're hearing from you. Caleb Shearer, 10-2. With that mono black deck. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I am really surprised.
Like, it's not mono black aggro, it's that black deck.
Yeah. I am genuinely surprised. This deck tech's on our coverage page. 3 rounds left to go. A lot of fans of Black White Diamonds. We might be able to dial it up for you again one time. Depends on how Nick Miller feels.
Yeah.
Now, he's a little frisky today. We just ordered lunch.
Yeah, he lost the vote.
He lost the vote for lunch. It was between Bojangles and Panda Express, and Nick was really in the mood for a 3 entree plate from the Panda. Yep. He got voted down hard.
Yeah, Panda Express versus Bojangles is a one-horse race if I've ever heard of one.
I don't know, sometimes you're just really in the mood for some orange and black pepper chicken. Not today, Nick.
Yeah.
Not today. Zan with his Bant Aetherworks deck. He's going to start things off with a Prairie Stream and an Island. For Tom, he'll cycle a Scarab Feast. He's got a basic Swamp, and we'll see what's coming next here for the boss. How about cycle again? Hissing Quagmire, pass the turn back.
Were you playing when Rapid Decay was a rare you could open up in packs?
I was.
You were?
I was.
Yeah. One of the few misses in Urza's Destiny.
How dare you? How dare you talk about Rapid Decay like that?
You know, back in the day, it was a sweet way to build up your collection, was just literally buy packs of Urza's Destiny and sell the rares back to the store.
That's a good way to do it?
Yeah.
Because they were all so good?
Nearly everything was busted.
And then you get slammed in the face with Rapid Decay?
Yeah. Rapid Decay was one of the misses. Junk Diver. Junk Diver's not even an embarrassing card, but just wasn't very good in Standard at the time. Carnival of Souls.
Your thoughts?
It's a pain. This is not a sweet rare.
You want to know how you know this card's bad? The Cycling 2 starts the text.
Yep.
It doesn't finish it.
And this card actually showed up because Replenish and Yawgmoth's Will were heavy features of that Standard environment. Yeah. I'm trying to think what the other bricks were. There weren't a whole lot, though.
Carnival of Souls. A lot of people tried. Many failed. Maybe all failed.
Yeah. Cobalts plus Carnival of Souls, you can kind of go off.
Tireless Tracker for Zan. He's going to get a clue. You saw Tom do some cycling here. He cycled 3 of those Scarab Feasts this game. Now he's got a Grim Flare. Quarter of the way to Delirium. Tracker in. No blocks here from Tom. Pass the turn back. The boss will draw. Picked up a copy of Traverse. I see we have, I don't know if you noticed, we have Detective Ross here on the loose.
Yes.
He's got the mustache. It's a meltdown. Grim Flayer down.
True Detective Tom Ross.
That's correct. Sometimes he's the boss. Right now, he's on the case.
Yes.
Four mana. Gonti, a Lord of Luxury, has been censored. Whew. Nasty.
How's that taste?
That is nasty.
Yeah. Censor's great.
It's a good card to have around.
It's not the bad Force Spike experience, it's the sweet Force Spike experience.
It's not not the bad Force Spike, but it's not as cool as like rune boggling someone.
Right. Yeah, it's in that. Yeah, it's perfect.
Because rune boggling someone is just, you get to just throw it in their face and everything. It's just perfect. Is it time for a traverse? No, it's time for a vessel. Let's see if this resolves. Tom's gonna play a swamp and a dispossess.
But that's sort of whatever here, because Zan is winning just the card advantage control game right now.
He's just winning a normal game of Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's not really built around Marvel just yet. We'll see if this resolves.
But Tom, you know, this is kind of the nightmare scenario in some of these post-board games is you're just on a bunch of, you have no pressure and you have some very narrow answers to Aetherworks Marvel, and Syed is making the game about something else altogether.
Yeah, he's making this game about Tireless Tracker. You see he's got a Glimmer in his hand along with another Meltdown and a Cast Out.
Right. I mean, he might just beat Tom to death with a Tireless Tracker here.
It's possible. You would think, no guarantees, you would think that the Black Man Delirium deck can handle a Tracker and just this kind of sort of game.
But how much removal are you supposed to keep in your deck for cheap creatures against Aetherworks Marvel?
Yep.
I mean, it's a lot of dimensions here.
Well, Dispossess has resolved, so all of the Marvels are gone. But we've got a good idea what Zan is working with. And he will sacrifice a clue.
So I really like sacrificing the clue here. Syed has the choice between sacrificing a clue or casting Glimmer. And given the nature of the game, I kind of want to speed the clock up a little bit.
Makes sense.
I mean,
No clues left.
Make this a 3-turn game while Tom is kind of floundering a little bit.
Zan will draw. And beat down. Not yet. Not quite yet. Gonna Glimmer first. Interesting.
Well, if he has, you know, no counter spells, no reaction of note, I think Glimmering now, if he doesn't have a land drop, playing a land, getting another clue, drawing another card, makes sense to me.
One on top, one on bottom. Peel 2. More energy, too.
That's the one cost of taking the line that Syed took last turn. He didn't have a land in hand. He really wants one just to keep doing his thing, and because of Tireless Tracker, and sacrificing the 2 clues is less likely to hit land drops than casting the Glimmer. On the balance, though, I still like Syed's line.
I think Zan has a Void Winnower in his hand. Yeah, he's got one in his sideboard. Oh, man, I hope we get to that. Ross takes that shot from the Tireless Tracker. He's down to 9. See if he's ever going to try to make a block with the Grimflare. Of course, it's lost the majority of its power at this stage, but Tom is also looking at the new 5-mana Liliana, and he will cast it. And he will return Gaunty. There will be a trigger. Fumigate among those cards. This is a little interesting. Ulamog among those cards. He selected something else, though. Didn't get a great look.
I think it was a Tireless Tracker.
All right. You want to play this little card advantage game? Me too. I'll play your game. Tom will play an Evolving Wilds and pass the turn back. Syed will untap that Tracker. His is a 5/4 at the moment, and he's got 5 lands on the battlefield. Censor the draw. A lot of cards in Zan. He's cracked some clues. He's resolved a Glimmer. Plenty of options. Though he might be lacking some lands.
Yep. That appears to be the bottleneck right now.
In with the Tracker going towards the Liliana once they get that powerful Planeswalker off the battlefield if possible. Gaunty will block. You might have a Meltdown here to make it so that Gaunty doesn't have any power to beat the Death Touch. Zan up to 6 energy. However, Liliana's going to hang around.
And Liliana can churn out a zombie every turn, which is a chump blocker for the Tireless Tracker.
Yep. We can't forget that Grim Flayer is still out there and can block. Cycle Sensor, that one's not doing much right now. Zan may be on the hunt for a land, found a Botanical Sanctum.
It's a big hit. It's a land drop that he's desperate for and a clue.
And the mana to crack the clue.
As long as he can just keep this churn going. I mean, he's up so many cards, and if he keeps hitting his land drops, eventually he starts just casting his 10s. I mean, it's not like that isn't part of the game here.
Delirium ain't beating the 10s.
No.
It's not beating the 10s.
He has a cast out here to answer the Liliana. So that puts a lot of pressure on Tom to either find his own source of card advantage or answer the Tireless Tracker or make the game about something else.
Tom going to turn over the top couple of cards. He gets to make a 2-2 and then mill himself 2. So zombie on the way. See what comes next here for Ross. He's going to play that Tireless Tracker he found off of Gonti. Part of the reason he didn't sacrifice the Evolving Wilds. So now he gets a clue. He will sacrifice the Wilds now, get a basic land out of his deck to get himself another clue. Remember that basic land will enter the battlefield tapped. So this is a swamp. So not 2 clues here for Detective Ross. And Traverse with Delirium, I believe. Curious what he wants to search for. All right, Noxious Gearhulk.
Makes sense.
Yep.
A lot of presence on the battlefield in answer to the Tireless Tracker.
Can get it back with Liliana. Some nice things to like about the Gearhulk here. It is interesting to note, you can see the difference between Black-Green Delirium now and Black-Green Delirium previously, where in a lot of situations it would be searching for Emrakul. Can't do that anymore,
yeah,
which is a good thing.
You've got to try a little bit.
Zan will sacrifice a clue, make his tracker into a 6/5. We're heading back his way. Canopy Vista, Ether Hub. Those are the most recent couple of draws for Syed. He's up to 7 energy now. Tracker in. Going after Liliana. Grim Flayer finally going to step in the way. This would be a fun game to find out just how powerful Liliana is, by the way.
Well, it's definitely going to be good against a person who's only able to attack with one thing on the ground without trample, as you're just going to be able to build up the whole way through.
Cast out. We'll take care of Liliana. And now here's another tracker. Tom will sack a clue. He'll draw a card. His tracker will get a counter. The boss will quickly untap. You see the time, about 13 minutes left in the match here as these two players battle out in game number 3 to keep their top 8 dreams alive. Different Liliana this go around here for Tom. In the Last Hope, also a Grim Flayer, and we know about the Noxious Gearhulk.
So important for Syed to pin Ross's Planeswalkers as much as possible, because if he's able to do that, then the Fumigates are such a powerful tool for buying time. But as long as one of the Lilianas is in the mix, Ross gets a lot of card advantage and a lot of recursion on his threats.
Here's an attack for 4, no good blocks for Syed because there's a clue on the battlefield. So Tom would be able to sacrifice that and make his tracker larger. However, now he's going to just play Noxious Gearhulk, kill the big tracker that Syed had, gain some life back, and now resolve another copy of Traverse the Uvenwald. We'll see what Tom wants to search up. He's just going to go with Evolving Wilds. Wow.
I think he just wants to... I mean, this game is settling up to be a long grind with Syed not really able to blow the doors off at any moment with Aetherworks Marvel. So, just wants to keep drawing cards, making his land drops.
My question is, can he close out the game quickly enough to not have to worry about Ulamog and friends? That's a big concern.
Yeah, and if Syed finds a Fumigate, it might be really hard for Ross to do that.
There's that as well. Another land there for Syed. That's land number 8 is Canopy Vista. Another clue there for the tracker. Glimmer of Genius, Ether Meltdown. Among other things here for Zan in hand. And of course his tracker can draw some cards. And we can't forget about Void Winnower, a card that Zan might be able to cast here very soon. 9 mana, 11/9. Pretty good stats. Your opponents can't cast spells with even converted mana cost. 0 is even. And your opponent can't block with creatures with even converted mana cost. Won some games with this one during my Tron days. Pretty good against Splinter Twin.
Because they need to cast Splinter Twin.
Yeah.
Did you ever get Kiki Jiki'd out when you had a Void Winnower in
It
play?
did not happen, fortunately. Fortunately.
I think Syed's going to try to swallow up Tom's turn here, making this into a clue battle.
Well, Tom's just going to pass the turn back. Or, excuse me, pass priority. Noxious Gearhulk's going to get shut down a little bit here.
Yeah, I think Syed's got a couple copies of Aether Meltdown in the hand and is just hoping that Tom uses a lot of mana here.
Well, Tom will start by cracking 1 clue. Looks like Zan's going to do the same thing. Picked up another copy of Ulamog.
1 PM Legacy Challenge players and 2-headed giant competitors.
Players just making sure they're on the same page with the number of clues that are out here. All right. Looks like Tom wins that war. Forest. Make a clue. Vessel with the ability to crack it. And looks like pass.
I'm guessing this is a Fumigate here if Syed was willing to get rid of the tracker.
Fumigate or Void Winnower? I don't see a Fumigate in the grip right now. There's another energy. He's thinking Void Winnower. He's got 2 Ulamogs in hand. He's almost there. Four mana. Is this Glimmer instead? Okay. He might be searching for Fumigate?
Or some answer to the tracker.
Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Among the cards he has found. There's the Puzzle Knot. More energy for Zan, and he'll just pass the turn back over to Ross.
Although I think the energy basically has no output at this point.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dead. Tom will draw a card. Tracker a little bit bigger, and add another card to the grip. You'll note that Ross is not blowing these vessels, so I'm not sure if they find anything that matters. I'd like to believe that they do. Well, I'm not sure.
As long as he's got other stuff to do with his mana, you might as well be doing that instead. And I mean, the game could potentially come down to how large is your deck if Ulamogs involved.
Looks like Tom might be firing up Hissing Quagmire here. You know that Ulamog's got to be on his mind. Zan's got 9 mana. Wouldn't surprise you one bit if his 10th land entered the battlefield untapped, and then Ulamog shows up, and then Delirium's in a real trouble. So Tom's trying to figure out, I think, the best ways that he can try to close this game out pretty quickly. There's another tracker. He's going to play a land. Get 2 clues now, because 2 trackers. He'll sack 1 clue. draw a card. Looks like another Blooming Marsh. I think he's going to sacrifice another clue. Up to 2 and 7. Draw a card. Did not get a great look. I think that was Lay Bare the Heart.
Which I don't think is much help here.
I don't think so either. So here's an attack for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 it looks like. And Zan does have a Meltdown in hand. Can make it a little less if he wants.
Yeah, he had the option there of either tagging the zombie because you're likely to Ulamog away the 2 Tireless Trackers, or just putting it on the tracker to save 4.
Here is Lay Bare the Heart. We'll take a look at this new discard spell. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-legendary, non-land card. That player discards that one. Let's see if this is going to resolve first of all. Two Ulamogs, Void Winnower, Meltdown, an Island, and a Botanical Sanctum. I think the selection is here.
I mean, I'm guessing it's. Guess it's the Void Winnower, but
I think he might just take the Meltdown.
maybe if his plan is just I need to close this game out in a turn or two, then the Meltdown's probably the more threatening of the two.
I will say part of the reason that Zan didn't cast the Meltdown is because he can just blow the puzzle knot.
Yeah.
Gain 3 life, go to 8. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to go up to 8. He's got infinite energy. We are in the infinite energy center. Look at that. The Zan will draw. Prairie Stream. Ulamog. At least one tracker, but it looks like both.
Both. Just cut these draws off.
Those are long gone. And now here's the question. Is there any way for Tom to work through this?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he's sub 20 cards right now. Oh, did he draw to the slaughter?
He did draw to the slaughter.
Okay.
That's the way to work through the first one. Fire up Hissing Quagmire. Attack for 2, 4, 5. So he's at 3.
That was a huge draw.
It's pretty darn good. Lets him keep chipping away. Another Quagmire, maybe? Here's Liliana. Starts on 3. Trying to figure out what he can get back.
Now, there are other considerations, of course, but we've now gotten to the point where the Zan is net down on the Aether Meltdown play.
Yep.
If he had tagged the zombie or the Tireless Tracker, he would have saved 4 versus 3 from the puzzle knot, and it's looking like every point's going to matter here.
Gaunty is what Tom's going to get back here from Liliana. He hasn't played a land yet. Looks like he's going to play another Quagmire, pass the turn back. Now another Ulamog can come down.
And another Ulamog effectively answers 3 things as a blocker, and then so you gotta see if we kill 3 things here, is that enough to survive combat? And I think that it is.
Now, I don't know how many cards Tom has in his deck, and we're not going to ask, even though, okay, now that he's counting them for public information, we will ask. See how many cards he has left.
Yeah, I mean, this is the difference between, the difference between 20 and 21 here is huge, which is part of the reason that it's been nice for Tom to sit on these Vessel of Nascencies. At some point, Zan has to actually attack, and if he can't kill in one hit, then it's he has to hold on to the game for a little bit longer.
24 cards. Zan will take care of Hissing Quagmire in the land. Now, it's interesting because Noxious Gearhulk does have Menace.
Yep.
I don't know if there's any way for Tom to pump the Gearhulk. He just picked up a copy of Grimflayer. I could also see, however, because Void Winnower is part of the plan here, it will stop Noxious Gearhulk and the creature lands, because those have the 0. And that's even for Void Winnower. Grimflayer will get stopped, and Gonti will get stopped. It's interesting. Wow.
Yeah,
He's going for whatever,
Yep.
some sort of W here. Obnixilus isn't it. He's gonna take that.
I mean, if he feels he's on To the Slaughter or bust, then he's got to like find a card draw or something.
All right, well, he's moving all in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Liliana among those cards. Going to take a look down what's in the grave.
I mean, if this is happening now, it's now or never now.
Yep. You can't half shove
Yeah.
with this plan. You crack one, you basically got to crack them both. He can get back Liliana. He can get, just get Liliana. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to do.
Well, it gives him anything, any creature in his graveyard. It's, I would assume, the best thing, but that's not much here.
Yep. Or in turns, he's turn 0 in. He gets his 1, he's going to get him 2. There's Obnixilus. Draw. Tracker. Play a Hissing Quagmire and pass. It's turn 1. Now, I think all Zan needs to do here is attack.
Just announce the trigger.
Yep. That's the rest of it. Yeah, that's going to do it. Zan Syed's going to win this match here over Tom Ross. 2-1. Ulamog was just good enough. Not the first, though.
No.
It took the second one to get the job done, but the second one does it indeed. And for the Bant Aetherworks player,